To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. So today's Monday. Thursday, our meat birds will be 10 weeks old. And I just weighed one. I put him on a little floor scale, and he was 10 pounds, right on the nose. So I'm going to start butchering this Thursday. I'm going to butcher the bigger ones, the ones that are 10, 11 pounds. And we're going to do 3 a day. So we'll butcher 3. We'll let them cool. You got to let them cool for 24 hours. And then we'll can them the next day. So I think what I'll do is 6 a week. I think the other day I accidentally told you I was going to do 6 a day. That's not true, because if I do 3 chickens, that's going to be 30 pounds. Then you got to subtract the butcher weight, you know, the dressing, and they're going to weigh about 7 pounds is what I'm seeing on Google. So 3 chickens times 7 pounds is 21 pounds, and I can pressure can 20 pounds of chicken with my 2 canners. Now these guys are going to be all breast meat. The only thing I've done before is legs and thighs. You buy them in the bags that save a lot. Well, this is going to be breast meat. There's going to be more meat than what we had in the legs and thighs. So our first butchering day is going to be an experiment. We're going to see how much meat we have left over. We've had them for almost 3 months now, and they're ready to butcher. I'm pretty excited about this. That really brings me kind of to the point of the video today, being self-sufficient. I've been talking about self-sufficiency a lot recently, more so on food. I'm a little bit worried about food, how food is going to recover from the pandemic. Some areas are doing really well, other areas are doing very poorly. I showed you some pictures the other day of my friend down in Texas. His grocery store was out of food, out of meat, whereas ours was completely packed full of food. I've been really trying to get folks to think about storing food, not going out and being a prepper. That's not what I'm suggesting, but learning how to be self-sufficient, taking care of yourself, not relying on the grocery store or the government or anybody. And I always get these comments that kind of go against what I try to teach, or I don't even know if teach is the right word, goes against what I have done to accomplish my goals. And so this morning I got the same comment, which is, I think self-sufficiency is the way to go, or living off-grid is the way to go. But I only make $850 a month, and I can't find any property here wherever I live cheap. In this case, it was Tennessee, which I agree. Tennessee, when we were looking, was very expensive. It's probably the best place to live off-grid, and Missouri being the second. Tennessee has some high land prices. We bought ours for $4,200. He says, I can't get a loan to buy property. First of all, they're not going to give you a loan for property on $815 a month. The thing is when Carolyn and I started all this, we were debt-free. So going into debt to buy property is not self-sufficient. It's just the opposite of self-sufficient. You're relying on someone else to actually buy the property that you're going to be self-sufficient on. So if you can't pay a bill for whatever reason, they're going to come and take it, which means you lose all your self-sufficiency. You lose everything. Oh, you might be able to keep the solar panels and whatever, but are you going to move the house that you build on it? I mean, I might be able to move ours. It would cost a lot of money, but I don't want to move it. Ours is on a trailer. I got to put the wheels and axle on it, but I don't want to move it. And I would have to kind of tear it down a little bit. I'd have to cut off the skirting so it would ride on the road. But you can see it's a trailer. It's got the tongue. And the only reason I left it this way was because the guy who came over to inspect it said that it's on a trailer, so I didn't have to follow the code. That was one of the biggest reasons I left the tongue there. That way, if anybody comes out and asks, there it is. So no, being self-sufficient doesn't mean going out and getting a loan. What it means is, what I'm trying to suggest is that you get debt free and you start saving money. Well, I can't save money on $815. No, you can't. I told you yesterday I have a achy back. I pulled the muscle. Carolyn has a bad back, and she doesn't collect disability or anything. She refuses to, and I'm proud of her for that. But she comes out and works every day. She's been splitting wood now that we have wood. Every day she comes out and splits a little bit. She does whatever she can to keep herself active. And the more she is active, the stronger her back is all the time. I mean, she hadn't had a real back downer in, well, a couple years. But I wanted to show you something. So my back hurts, and I wanted to show you that I can still split wood. So I got all this wood over here. I'm gonna grab a piece and I'm gonna show you that it's still doable. And the thing I've noticed about my back is when I'm up walking around and I'm trying to exercise it, it makes it feel better. Yeah, it hurts initially. Ouch! I just slammed a splitting maul into a piece of wood. But yesterday I came out and worked on the tiller. Showed you that I was fixing the tiller. My back got better. I slept better last night. I'm able to walk around a lot better. So sitting around has made it worse, is my point. Now, Carolyn and I was discussing this comment this morning, saying, okay, well, we don't make enough money to buy a piece of property. What can I do? Well, you may not want to hear it, but there is actually a lot of things you can do. This firewood, the reason I demonstrated this, if I go down the road, there's a guy who sells it for $75 a truckload. Now, it's split wood, so he gets the trees, he splits it, then you have to go over to his property, load up your truck or trailer, and it's $75 per truckload. If I was to call someone, you can double that price. Then they bring it out to me. The guy last year said he brought me out a cord. I don't think it was a cord of wood. It may be in a little bit more than a truckload, but it wasn't a cord of wood. And he charged me $125 to deliver it. And he said it was dry wood. It wasn't dry wood. That's the only reason I bought it. My point is if you can go around and collect this free firewood like I do. Now, I don't put a lot of effort into it. I get my yard full here and then I split it until I'm done. The only thing I'm trying to accomplish is to get 15 cords of wood. That's the only thing I'm gonna do. Once I had the 15 cords, the only thing I'm gonna do then is just collect one cord. But if you really put some effort into it and you were really putting your name out there and putting business cards out there, you could probably find a lot of free firewood. And if you're any good with the chainsaw, you might actually be able to cut trees down. So you might be able to charge someone to cut the tree down, and then you charge them to take the wood away. And then you charge people to buy the firewood. So I was figuring this up. This is 7 truckloads of firewood. If I was to charge the $75, that would be an extra $500 this month alone that I got, without really working that hard at it. So now, if I wanted to buy the property that I live on, I'd have to work 8 months. And I didn't have to work very hard at it. I'd have to work 8 months to buy this piece of property. So all you gotta do is save the money. You work a few hours a day and you're done. But if you worked really hard at it, think about it. If you could get 50 loads in a month and you was really booking it, you could probably buy your property in a month. So there's one option, is to actually go out. And the thing is that's all cash dollars. Yes, it can be done. Now, another option is, and Carolyn and I was talking about this morning, it's ironic because we have both tried to do this. I was in Iowa, she was in Missouri. I mean, we didn't know each other at the time. But when I was in Iowa, there are farmers in Iowa that will hire you to come live in a house that they provide. So you go live in the house, and the house I looked at was beautiful. Huge brick home. I think it was at least 2 bedrooms, maybe 3 bedrooms. It had an acre of property, and all I had to do was take care of the pigs. It was a farming job. I applied for it, but I didn't take the job because I got another job instead. But I definitely could have gotten that job. It would have been a very nice place. So if you want to be off-grid, there's an idea. Of course, the house is going to have electric. You're going to have electric, but you could wire up your solar panels and run off the solar panels and just have a separate system. Not hard to do at all. And I did that before in the house that I owned about 10 years ago. I had 2 systems. I had the electric system coming in from the pole, and then I had another breaker box and the whole thing running out throughout the house, running off solar. Carolyn had the same opportunity. She applied with a farmer to raise cows. I guess she was supposed to keep track of the cows. They had a nice place to live in. Now, she didn't get the job. She bought a piece of property, and about a month later, they called her back and said, hey, you still interested in the job? Well, of course, at this time, she already had a job. She had a piece of property. She had chickens. So she turned it down. So there's another option of actually getting your homestead. You just have to work the job, whatever the job is. So those who say, I can't, I think are making excuses why they can't. If you really want to live happy and free, of course, doing the farmer job isn't free. I mean, you still have to work, but I work too. I have a job. I have to make money. I come out, split some wood, or I get, whatever it is, take care of the chickens, and then I have to go in and work my actual job. Well, if you're working the farming job, you're basically doing the same thing I'm doing. I go in the house and make my money. You just go outside on the property and make your money. I think it's just excuses, and I'm not trying to be hard on people. If you really do want to live the lifestyle, it is so easy to figure out how to do it. And think about it. I'm not asking you to go out and get a job, computer programming or anything like that. You're downgrading your life. You're simplifying your life. It's easier than the life you are currently living. How can you not do something that's easier? You don't understand the I can't philosophy. I just don't think that way. I've never have thought that way. If I wanted to do something, I did it. So I hope I can inspire you to say you can do it, so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.